My next guest, he's going to be making his Bellator debut against Ricky Bandejas. It is Patrick Mix back here on the program. Patchy, how are you, man?
I'm doing good, man. I just got back to Jackson's. I went home for about a week and a half, 2 weeks to celebrate some, the holidays, my daughter's birthday. And now I'm back, back where I live because I moved here, ready to just get to work and get to this big fight, man.
Yeah, and we'll talk about training camp in a second here at Jackson Wink. Obviously a great camp, but you're a member of the Bellator roster. Tell me how this all came together. What an opportunity this is.
Yeah, it happened fast, man. After my last fight, I won in the first round again. I extended my streak to, I'm not sure, but I finished 5 guys in a row. So, I got to 10-0, and Ali's been telling me he'll get me to the next level, So he offered me a few options, and Bellator was the clear-cut option for me to take right now.
Excellent. Were there any other offers? Because I imagine the UFC, one, all these other promotions, they must have been interested not just with the undefeated record, but you're finishing a lot of opponents.
Yeah, the thing with the UFC it's real backed up with the 25ers going up to 35, and with the cards that I was looking at fighting. Granted, they didn't have that May 18th card out yet for the UFC in Rochester. That's like 40 minutes from my house. But it just looked a little backed up, and I wasn't really trying to go through the contender series. I feel like I really proved myself already on the regional scene. I didn't want to fight a regional contender series fight, and chance anything. I really wanted to get to the next level, so I looked at the options of contender series, Bellator, or even possibly like PFL, even moving up. But I thought 35 is real stacked in Bellator right now, and the division's really growing. So I thought I'd really strive well there.
And the added bonus with Bellator too is you can have as many sponsors as you want, right? I'm sure financially it's a good decision for you as well.
Yeah, financially it's a great decision as well because I had a lot of sponsors with me throughout my career thus far, and I can still maintain them as well as now market myself on a bigger stage to now get more sponsors.
Last time we spoke, you had just signed with Ali. How's it been with him? Because I know one of the great things about him is he's always checking up on you. I know he's obviously got good connections, so you can go train at different gyms. How's that whole experience been so far?
The experience with Ali has been great. Dominance in general, working with him and other colleagues. He takes care of us fighters, and I have nothing but great things to say. And how he's been guiding my career is just, I fight anybody, but he's really got me the right fights to now line me up with this big opportunity. All them other fights really meant something now to earn this specific opportunity, because with a big win here, a big finish, I propel myself to, a much bigger star than I am right now.
Yeah, and I'd say, the implications of this fight are huge. Bandejas was a guy that they were talking about potentially fighting for a title, and now you get to fight him. I wanted to start there, actually. Were you surprised to get this matchup? Because both of you are pretty young. It's rare to see two prospects like this matched up together. You're 25, he's 27, so, just your thoughts on getting the fight.
Yeah, I figured we could fight because we're both from the same, even though I live at Jackson's and he's still in Jersey, I'm still from
New York versus New Jersey. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I'm still from New York and he's from Jersey. So I thought that match could come to fruition for MSG when I heard the card be announced. And he actually called for the fight first. And I was in Ali's ear eager to try to make it, happen. And then once Ali said that, that's the guy and we can make it happen, I blasted social media to try to, let's just set it, make it, sign it. Let's do it. He fights hard fights, Bandejas that is, and so do I. So, promotion standpoint, it could have been cool for them to keep us away from each other a little longer. But we're both, I'm chomping at the bit to try to fight the best guys that are going to earn me a shot at Darian Caldwell or, Horiguchi or whoever has the belt at the time. So I want the best guys. So once they offered him, it was no questions, no thought process in my mind because, I believe I can fight all the guys on the roster, and I feel like, in myself, self-belief, I feel like I can beat them all as well.
Do you think his last fight, the fight against Juan Archuleta, that was kind of the blueprint on how to beat him? Do you feel like that's something you'll sort of use in your training camp, or are you just going to go in there and do what you do best?
No, I don't really fight like Archuleta in the terms of he fights a lot different than me. But I know that if I fight my style of fight, the way that I fight, and with my partners in the gym, who I'm training with, my coaches that are around me. If I fight my style of fight, which is much different than Juan's, and I'm not trying to take that approach to it at all, I finish him. You know what I mean? Or if I finish anybody, you know what I mean, at the 135-pound weight limit if I fight my style of fight. So I'm not really blueprinted off how Juan did it. Juan did things correctly, and he also did things, I thought that weren't the best decision against Ricky. So, I'm just planning on focusing on what I do, and also focusing on what he does well, to shut those things down too.
So you're at Jackson's. I know training camp. You've always been in, sort of a camp and getting ready for any sort of fight. As far as training partners, is there anyone specifically you work with a little bit more, or is it just a variety of training partners?
Yeah, I got like real good guys. From Dodson to Steve Garcia. He fights this week. He's one of my main training partners. That emulates Ricky for me. I believe Edwin Cooper. He's real young, but he was an Iowa wrestler, just super powerful. He's going to be a force and one of the next guys. I have Bavon Lewis's little brother, Le'Veon Lewis. He's real good. I have a real good training partners from Diego, and I roll from, maybe not sparring, but rolling wise, I roll with everybody in the room, from Condit to, I do a lot of Gracie Barra with Cowboy. I roll with everybody from all weights, and I do fine there too. So, I'm excited. This will be my first time actually getting cornered and totally out of Jackson Wink. I've never had any of these coaches in my corner. Or I kind of just always went home and then, kind of did it on more of a regional scene when I got home with my coaches that I had and my colleagues,
So that'll be interesting. And you mentioned you're staying at the dorms. Who are you rooming with right now, or do you get your own room?
Yeah, no, I stay at the dorms. I actually room with Devin Clark. He's
nice. Brown Bear. Yeah, nice. He's got a fight coming
Brown
up.
Bear. He's my boy. Yeah. I room with him, and I actually room with Christian Edwards. He's in Bellator as well. Yeah, he's actually sitting next to me over there. I room with both of them, and it's good because we're all like-minded. In the dorms, you might catch some guys that are they're here for some, maybe on a lesser scene, but we're really high-level pros, and we really take it serious. So rooming with Devin and Christian, it helps us we all stay motivated off each other,
Yeah, it keeps you focused too, because again, you have no distractions. You're just there to the train, and that's pretty much it, right? So
yeah, and there's not much to do in Albuquerque, to be honest.
Right.
With
Yeah,
you.
I can't imagine you could get into too much trouble there. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much to do, to be honest with you. So all I really do is train. Even prior to, like I said, I went home for about a week and a half to. It was my daughter's first birthday, so I got to visit her, and I just got back last night. That is, and when I was here, I was only gone for a week and a half. But when I was here before, I was here for 6 weeks, and all I did is train. I didn't even know I was fighting on Bellator 222, but I trained 3 times a day, 2 times a day, 6 days a week for 6 weeks straight, just because, I was trying to stay ready for these opportunities and stuff. So now coming back, starting camp, I feel great.
Yeah, you've kind of kept the ball rolling is kind of what you're saying, which is great. So, I mean, that's it makes the camp a little bit easier there. When does the weight cut start for you? Because we're a ways away out from this fight.
Yeah, the weight cut, I eat clean and stuff. I'm not the biggest guy, I'm tall, I'm 5'11" at the weight, and I'm long, and I have muscle on me, but I only walk at 150 to 154. So, I'll diet down to 45 and then cut the last 9 pounds or so, the last 10 days, fight week, and it'll be a clean cut for me. I make 35 pretty well.
You talked about your corner. Who is going to be in the cage with you that night?
I plan on keeping my one buddy, Dennis Brown, with me. He's been with me since the beginning. He's a mentor of mine, a pro fighter that really brought me up. But on top of him, I'm probably looking at, Coach Jackson or Coach Wink for sure, if not both of them. And then also, if only one goes or however we do it, I'm still deciding. But I'm also going to have Harry St. Ledger in my corner. He's like my jiu-jitsu coach, my MMA grappling type coach, and he's got me on, a whole nother level right now. So either Harry St. Ledger, Greg Jackson, Mike Winklejohn, and Dennis Brown, they'll be there for me or supporting her in my corner one way.
What's interesting here is you've been finishing all your opponents, and Ricky actually hasn't been finished, I think, since 2015, October of 2015. Are we going to see a finish in this fight? Because I know it's difficult.
Yeah, I believe that, I'm coming out there to win, but I'm coming out there to finish him. He's been finished, and I finished better than all the guys. I feel like I finished better than those guys that have beaten him. So, I'm coming there to finish him. I'm coming there to put him away, and he's ranked number 3. And after this fight, I plan to be in that ranking, and I plan to get the big fights. And by no means necessary is Ricky an easy fight, and he's not easy to be finished. But if one person's going to do it, it's going to be me.
Has Bellator mentioned to you about the winner of this fight, just in terms of, I think, people looking on the outside, I think the winner of this fight has got to be near a title shot. I know that's crazy because this is only your first fight, but is that something that Bellator has talked to you about as far as the winner of this matchup?
No, they haven't spoke to me about that. I'm just grateful to get the matchup. I don't really think a lot of people wanted to fight him, so I'm grateful to get the matchup because it's such a big matchup. Me being 10-0, and then with the implications of what this fight does for me, it's a humongous fight. So I am just right now grateful just to have it. I'm not sure what they believe or what's on his end. He might be promised closer to a title shot than me. I haven't heard anything. I'm not sure if Bellator expects me to win or who really does in general. But my team, myself, and the people that I'm surrounded by, we all expect me to win.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's going to be a great fight. Before I let you go here, you talked about how there's not much to do in Albuquerque. So what are you doing on your downtime? Like, are you watching any TV, playing any video games, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I got my PS4 here, so I'll play some video games and I'll watch some series and stuff. But a lot of stuff, I'm just like trying to stay busy around the gym. Hanging around in the cage. Right now, I'm watching. That's why I keep looking off camera. I'm actually watching Coach Winklejohn hold pads for. He was just holding with Holly. Now he's holding with another one of our up and comers. So I just sit around the gym a lot, watch what's going on. I kind of hang out. There's a movie theater around here. Just kind of a simple life, man. I'm not really not trying to do much. I'm trying to get some world titles so I can actually go home and spend the time with my family and my daughter, to be honest with you.
Your priorities are straight, man. I like it. And this is going to be a great card. It's coming up here June 14th. It is Bellator 222. Patchy, great catching up with you, man, again.
Always, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So great to see you get this opportunity. I mean, the hardcore fans, people have been following your career. I mean, this is one of those fights that I think people just can't wait to see. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, we both got a lot of hype too, man. I'm looking forward to it. So it's going to be an awesome fight on a freaking amazing card. I've headlined all my cards, or co-headlined them. So to be fighting with the likes of Rory McDonald, Chael Sonnen, even Caldwell, man, I used to look up to that dude. I've been watching him wrestle since I've been in middle school, high school. So it's crazy. I'm really excited for the opportunity. I'm going to make the most of it.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to it, man. So just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout-outs or anything like that, man, the floor is yours.
Yeah, you can find me at Mix_Patchy or Team Mix MMA on Twitter, and Patchy Mix on Facebook. You can follow me on any one of my social media outlets. I'll be shouting out all my sponsors on there, and who's supporting me for this big card, and we're ready to go. So thank you, man. We appreciate it.